Hey guys, Ashley here, and today we are going to be filming a book haul, and I still have Cecilia and Wayne Thomas hanging out in the background from the thrift haul that I just filmed. I hope you guys don't mind. So this is a thrift book haul from the Salvation Army. I don't remember if I said, but it was but the other stuff was from the Salvation Army as well. And I actually decided to do this thrift book haul in two parts, so I'm going to do this, and then I have another bag that's just Star Wars books, so I'm going to do that in its own video. So, we're just going to do this to start, and where do I want to start here? I guess it doesn't really matter. So, I found this Animorphs book here, the Bayer Chronicles. I'm not sure if I said that right. I haven't read Animorphs in so long. And I don't come across the books that often either. I've got like one other one in my closet that in my bookshelf that I have over in the closet that I got a little while back at either the Salvation Army or Goodwill. I don't remember. I'm not sure if I did that in a haul or not, but I do like picking these up and rereading them every so often, so I was happy to find this, and in hardcover as well, and in such good shape. So there's that, and I love just the artwork on the back as well. Okay, so there was our first book, and with our Salvation Army, at least, you want to look at, like, all of the book racks, because there's stuff mixed in with the children's books that you wouldn't think would be there, and then there's children's stuff mixed in with, like, the adult books, and, like, the romance, you know, that kind of stuff, so you want to look everywhere at our Salvation Army when you're looking for books. An example would be this Vampire Diaries book that I found in the children's section, and I really don't think that this would qualify as a children's book. This is actually two books in one. I believe The Fury and Dark Reunion, and I don't think... I'm trying to remember if I've read these. I probably have, because at one point or another I've read most of them, but I think there's still a couple I haven't read. So there is that. And this right here I found with the antique books. This is the Tucker's The Special Secret. I don't know anything about this series really, and I did read the thing on the back of the book, but I just thought it was interesting, and I like to read these older kids' books sometimes. I have a collection of some of them. Like I have the Bobbsey twins, for example, and I have the old Lone Ranger books, which I found at thrift store. It's really hot in my room right now. Yeah, speaking of the Bobbsey twins, actually, I have one here, though this was from like the redone series in the 80s, I believe. 80s and 90s, maybe this ran. This one's actually an old elementary school library book. Another reason that I like the Bobbsey twins so much is I do like collect books with twins in them, and just twin things in general, but that's beside the point. I just love these so much. I feel like I've said that's beside the point a lot. But anyway, I got Sabrina the Teenage Witch, All That Glitters. I collect these as well, and I also enjoy reading them. I used to love the live-action series when I was younger. So there's Sabrina. I don't know if I showed that to the camera good, so I'll show it again. And then Bobbsey twins. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys the Tucker's book. So I got... The next book we have here is a Margaret Henry book, King of the Wild. And I love all of her books about... All of her horse books are just so good. So, there's that. And I don't think I've read this one, actually. I've read a lot of her books, but I honestly don't think I've ever read this one. This actually has, on the inside where somebody got it for their birthday. But, I don't know what I was going to say. Anyway, though, that was a really cool find, I thought, even in kind of, like, it's kind of messed up, but that just means the book was really well loved, I would say. So, the next one is Babysitter's Little Sister, number 32, Karen's Pumpkin Patch. And I never really read these originally, though I do have a pretty good collection. I started as a teenager. But, like, when I was actually the age for these books, the Little Sister ones, that is, I never read them. I read a lot of the Babysitter Club books, and every so often I still add to that collection and find ones I haven't read. But with the Little Sister ones, I didn't start finding those until I was, like, a teenager from, like, the Salvation Army and Goodwill, so I started getting those and reading them. Every so often I find one, add it to the collection. Of course, I read it. And I think these are just fun little reads. Reading children's books in general is often really enjoyable, just because it's I don't know how to explain it, just a bit more relaxing than other books you could read. So anyway, I got this, which is a Stories of America book, A Place Called Heartbreak, A Story of Vietnam. So I thought this would be an interesting read. And another reason, I got it for two reasons. One, like I said, I thought it would be interesting. And another is that my great uncle actually was in the Vietnam War. So that I thought would make it even more interesting to read. I'm sorry I keep just flipping through it, but there you guys go. I'm trying to fan myself with the pages, honestly. As like I said, it is ridiculously hot in this room. I had to turn off the fan because the noise makes it hard to hear me. So our next one is a Sweet Valley Twins book. We have Claim to Fame. Just like with the Bobbsey Twins one, I just like to collect those. My original Sweet Valley books were like the Sweet Valley High ones that were inherited from my mother and my aunt. So, anyway, our next book is The Borrowers Afloat. And I always loved The Borrowers and The Littles as well. The Littles were my favorite, though, but I'm pretty sure they were based on The Borrowers. Okay, so this one right here I found, and I absolutely had to get. It's Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend. And so I read the back, and so pretty much this is about the imaginary friend of an 8-year-old boy named Max Delaney, and he has Asperger's syndrome. So it says, so I'll just like read from here for you guys. So it says, some people say he has Asperger's, but most say he's on the spectrum. None of this matters to Budo, that's the imaginary friend's name, who loves Max and is charged with protecting him from the class bully, from awkward situations in the cafeteria, and even in the bathroom stalls. But he can't protect Max from Miss Patterson, a teacher in the learning center who believes that she alone is qualified to care for this young boy. When Miss Patterson does the unthinkable, it's up to Budo and a team of imaginary friends to save Max. And Budo must ultimately decide which is more important, Max's happiness or his own existence. Because something I didn't read from up here is that it says that when imaginary friends, like when you quit believing in them, then they disappear, like from existence, I guess. So it says, Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend is a triumph of courage and imagination that touches on the truths of life, love, and friendship as it races to a heartwarming and heartbreaking conclusion. So I thought it sounded really good, and I can't wait to read this. Okay, so moving on, I believe we haven't looked at these yet. So I found, I'll save this one actually, because I have another Hardy Boys book. So I got The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, and I'm trying to think which other ones I have. I've been trying slowly to collect the Chronicles of Narnia series. But I know I didn't have this one, but I don't know which other ones I'm missing. But anyway, I love the map at the back of this book as well. So yeah, I read all of these when I was younger from the library, and I just recently started trying to get the whole set of them. I know I have the first one. I think I have the first two. And then I have Prince Caspian now, so I'm missing like 4 of them? Well, technically not 4 of them, because I found as well The Last Battle, so I'm missing 3 of them then, I think. So yeah, for the same reason I got both of these. Like I said, I'm trying to collect the series. I can't tell you how much any of these books were, because at least at our Salvation Army, they don't put actual prices on the spines, it's just a colored tag. I really like the artwork on these as well. This book I got for my great aunt. This is a James Patterson book, Hide and Seek. So I may actually read this too. I don't know. Normally I don't. There I go again, fanning myself with the pages. But there's that. It's not that I don't like them. It just, I have a lot of other stuff that I'm planning on reading myself. So normally I just get those for her. But sometimes I do read them too. Plus, there's just some of them that there are some of them that don't interest me, but she'll read all of them. So I got this book, which is Help, I'm Trapped in a Movie Star's Body. And I've heard of these books, but I've never actually read one. So, like when I was younger, I definitely remember hearing about this series. Oh, that feels so good. It's so hot in here. But yeah, like I said, I never actually read one, so I saw this one and I thought, well, it sounds interesting. I'll go ahead and check it out. So there's that one. And then the last two are both Hardy Boys books. This one is a older one, which is in like the, I forget what this type of cover is called. This is an older one and a matte cover. Is that the name? I think it's a matte cover or matte cover. Anyway, this is The Clue in the Embers. And for anyone who collects these, you can see what the end papers look like. I know that that has some importance to how old the book is, but I'm not actually sure. Like, at one point I looked it up, but I don't remember like what the different end papers mean. I know that some of the earlier books that are in these covers, some of them still have their original text, but I think this one is too late in the series to have an original text, because this would be its original text, if that makes sense. Just like a lot of like the first few ones that you'll find like in the modern covers have been rewritten from their original releases, of what I'm trying to say. And this time I'm actually flipping through this book for a reason, because here it is. So I just wanted to show you guys that this book is not, like the outside is in great shape, but inside there are a lot of places where whoever had it before underlined it. And I think it's just in pencil that they underlined it in, but still, I'm not going to try and erase it because I'd probably mess up the paper. So this does have underlining in it. And then the other Hardy Boys book I found is this. It's Training for Trouble, the Hardy Boys. It says, Frank and Joe check out a new sports facility and are nearly buried by the competition. So I've never read this book. I'm not even sure if I've read any from this series. I think this is the Case Files book, I think is what these were called, maybe? I'm actually not sure. No, I don't think they were called Case Files, because those are the ones they had in the 90s, right? Where they had aged them up. I have a lot of those. Yeah, I can actually see the covers from here, so I'm actually not sure what these ones were called. But anyway, it sounded interesting. And I do collect these. Like, older book series I collect are like I said, I have the Lone Ranger, Bobbsey Twins, Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew. Although this is a more modern one, but I just love the modern takes on a lot of them as well. Okay, so that was that, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if so, I hope to see you in my next video, where I'll be doing part 2 of this haul, and we'll look at all the Star Wars books that I got. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.